landed. The Xanax hit me wrong. Or, more likely, the Seagrams I chased it down with hit me wrong. I puked up the contents of my stomach. 2 partially digested Big Macs, a Biggie Fry, the slurry of dark liquid I assumed was a Coke. Most of the upchuck got into the toilet bowl. Some of it got on my shoes. A pair of Kenneth Coles, my most comfortable pair of shoes. The pair I was wearing for good luck today, for the presentation I was to give. That was to take place in 20 minutes. I would enter the boardroom with my patented deferent swagger. And I would show the partners what I had. Regarding a branding case. Philip Morris versus the world. When I was incredibly sick, I realized perhaps it wasn't just the whiskey, the Xanax, the McDonald's food. Perhaps it wasn't even the fact that I had just visited my father who was dying of lung cancer. Perhaps I was really ill. Some viral thing, probably. Everything is viral, including cancer. One of our clients is hypothesizing that even cancer is viral, and we're working very hard on a vaccine for it. Vaccines are wonderful. They make lots of money for everybody involved, from the street corner dealer of vaccines, the Walgreens and the Costco and the Walmart pharmacies where they deliver the shots, to the doctors who prescribe the vaccines and get a cut, to the manufacturers, mostly the manufacturers. One of our clients, it could be Glaxo, they're working on an anti-cancer vaccine, and the thought of potentially 7 billion people worldwide getting a $30 vaccine, $8 of which finally ends up as pure profit in the bottom line of the ledger at Glaxo. That's 7 billion times $8. That's a lot of money. But I can't help it there in the bathroom. I just keep vomiting. And I don't know what thing is that's coming up next. It might be, I swallowed something strange last night playing Monopoly with my estranged children. I had them for a few hours, and somehow I swallowed the little top hat. And that came up in the next round of bile, and something white this time. It looked like Alpenrose milk. That was, mostly white, but with peakishness. Might have been blood mixed in with it, or perhaps Pepto-Bismol. This was really getting out of hand. I had to give this presentation on protecting brand names so that nothing negative could ever be associated with them, but I don't know how I could do that. Not the state I was in. My family members had just died recently. They had all been in a mall shooting where the makers, I believe it was a Smith & Wesson model assault rifle. They were all killed in a hail of gunfire. Yes, it was Smith & Wesson, as I recall. And that was just outside the Macy's at the mall where I was in. It was truly a dreadful experience, and perhaps that's why I was vomiting before I had to give my presentation on protecting corporate brand names and images so that no negative associations could be linked to that brand name and how important that is. That's really, it's a matter of free speech, really. We have to be free for everybody to be able to speak in positive ways about our brand, otherwise it will hurt our bottom line. And I realize that throw them in the toilet bowl, along with that compost of internal shit that just came out of my stomach. I throw my Kenneth Cole shoes in there, and I pull my Prada tie off, and I throw it in there with it, and I strip off my jacket, my Hugo Boss jacket, and I shove that down in there as well. And then I realize that my shirt has to come off. It's Burberry.
Burberry.
And simple must come off as well, and it comes off, and it will barely fit into the toilet bowl. And then I see the Nike swoosh I had tattooed on my arm when I worked for them. One of my first jobs out of college, when I worked in their legal department after getting my degree, but that didn't last, but it lasted long enough for me to get the swoosh tattooed onto my arm, and I would cut my arm off and push that down the toilet bowl too, but I don't have a knife, so I climb in with the rest of the clothing. I climb in as far as I can get into the toilet bowl and reach out and pull the handle.